What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this being my review for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18, Episode 7. So for this episode, the queens are doing political ads. So I'll just tell you guys what stood out to me, who my favorites were, who I thought should have been in the bottom, and all the results that came out from the episode. So we have Jane and Kenya. I personally thought that they were one of the best. Jane is such a natural comedian. Jane is so believable. She's such an actress. She's great, and I'm honestly expecting for Jane Don't to win. I'll just put that out there right now. I'm expecting for Jane Don't to win. I don't know if it would be necessarily deserved per se, but she seems to have all the qualities it takes to be a winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. So, that's what it seems like. But Jane and Kenya were doing a political ad concerning adding C to the LGBTQ plus for clowns. Seems very interesting, but hey, it is what it is. The only thing that bothered me just a little bit about Jane and Kenya's political ad is the fact that Jane kept bringing up the fact that she had gonorrhea. For me, it wasn't that funny. It was okay. Yeah, it is what it is. But Jane did a great job. Kenya looked gorgeous. Kenya looked the best that she's looked all season during this political ad, I must say. And the wig was right. The only thing that I want Kenya to work on is her makeup. I wish she would be put more into the makeup that she puts on because she paints like Marsha, like just a little bit here, a little bit there. But it is what it is. Jane and Kenya did great. Kenya, she called out the fact that queens need to know their words. I love the fact that she pointed that out during the ad. So Jane and Kenya did a great job. I really did enjoy their political ad. Then we have Mia Starr and Juicy Love Dion. And I was really, really nervous for them. And, initially I did want them to work together. So I was glad that they were working together. But when it comes to challenges like this, where they have to be creative, um, sometimes they would struggle a little bit. Y'all know Mia is my favorite this season. I'm rooting for Mia. I don't think that she's going to win. She really hasn't been that strong on the runway. She's been pretty good in challenges, in general. But as far as like comedy challenges and things of that nature, she typically does not stand out. So that's why I was scared for Mia and Juicy in this instance because, they have to be really creative with the scripts that they write and, things of that nature. And so while they were kind of getting their script together, they were drawing blanks right and left, and it seems like things weren't coming together. But when it comes to the actual commercial itself, or the political ad rather itself, I thought Mia did great. I thought she did the best that she could do, which is good enough for me personally. I love the look that she did. They were doing a political ad concerning padding, queens who pad and queens who don't pad. Of course, Mia was the queen that pads, and Juicy was the one that doesn't pad. Juicy did come off quite dry. I didn't think that she did horrible. I mean, she wasn't unwatchable to me. It just wasn't as convincing. And Juicy's obviously not an actress, and that's not shade saying that she's obviously not an actress. I mean, she's just not. But I was not surprised that Juicy ended up in the bottom. I just did not want it to be Juicy versus Mia for the bottom two. I did not want that to happen whatsoever. But it is what it is. Then we get to Athena and Mikey Meeks. So Athena and Mikey Meeks were doing a political ad concerning foreign trade. I thought Athena did great. She did a lot better than I expected her to. She was giving this like Southern drawl during her political ad, and she looked like a Republican woman, and I think that was what she was trying to get across during the ad, so I thought she did great. Mikey Meeks was for foreign trade. Athena was against foreign trade. And so, I thought it was a great ad. Now, Mikey's getting all this praise, but I didn't think Mikey was the best necessarily. Even though Mikey ended up winning, I'm happy for her winning. I just don't know if it was well deserved. But they did a pretty good job nonetheless. Then we get to Darlene Mitchell and Vita Vonti Starr. Darlene Mitchell and Vita Von Starrs' political ad was concerning social media queens, queens who you never go out and do the hard work. That was what Darlene was playing, and then Vita was playing the drag queens who actually get out there, stomp the pavement. They're out there at the clubs every night, getting their money and things of that nature. I thought Darlene did amazing. I felt like Darlene actually deserved to win. Um, I don't know how the judges thought that Mikey was better than Darlene. I'm sorry, but Darlene put her foot into that ad. She put her foot into that ad, not wanting to go leave her room, saying that, Big Daddy, whatever, 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 they just sent me, a certain amount of dollars. And this ad was paid for by me showing my, and then, referring to her rectum. It was great. It was awesome. I love Darlene. I really do love Darlene. I think that she has a beautiful personality. I think she's so genuine, and I don't know if Darlene necessarily thinks that she can win. I don't think really anyone is expecting Darlene to win necessarily. However, I think that she's a good time girl, and I really do enjoy seeing her week to week. I think she's great, and she's truly endearing. It makes you want to root for her. Seeing Darlene on the show, it really is great to see. Vita Von Starr, on the other hand, did not do so great. I think we can all tell by the two acting challenges that we've seen thus far with the RDR Live and then, with this political ad. Vita is not an actress either. Which I think is very unfortunate for her because I think she is a great drag queen. I've loved quite a few of her looks that she's done on the runway. She's an awesome, awesome designer. She's won both design challenges. Well, not one. She didn't win the first one, but she was in the top two for both design challenges. So she's obviously a great designer. But when you can't keep up with the other aspects of the show, then sometimes you'll fall short. And so it did not surprise me that Vita was on the bottom. Vita's just not convincing when she's in these acting challenges. And she sort of kind of just reads the lines the way Vita would read a line in, regular life. And she doesn't put much character behind her roles. And I think that's the main issue with Vita. I think Vita did the best that she possibly could, and I guess that's going to have to be good enough for us. And then last but not least, we have Discord Adams and Nene Coco. Discord Adams and Nene Coco are doing a political ad of queens who kai kai. Kai kai means that, queens who are having sexual relations. And, Darlene, not Darlene, but Discord, I thought Discord did great. She was of the belief that queens should kai kai, and Nene was of the belief that queens shouldn't kai kai. My favorite line from that was, "Do you think that queen's going to be able to carry all your luggage like that?" I thought that was a great point to make during the ad. I thought that they were both great. But of course, again, as I said a little bit earlier, for me, Darlene Mitchell was the best, hands down, on this week. I feel like Mikey Meeks just won because she was unfairly targeted in the Rate the Queen last week. And I don't think that she deserved to be in the bottom. That's just me personally. I don't think she deserved to be in the bottom last week. So I feel like this was like a redemption story for Mikey Meeks. And, hey, it's okay. But I just feel as though I think this might mean that Darlene might not win a challenge. But maybe she will because we have the Snatch Game coming up next week. So, she's done pretty well in acting challenges so far. So who knows? She might have a win coming down the line. So the bottom two are Juicy Love Dion as well as Vita Von Starr. They're both devastated. They don't want to, lip sync against each other, but, they're doing it. Oh, also, I have to mention, I did not enjoy this runway whatsoever. The category was I can see right through her. And I don't know. I don't know. It's just I guess it just wasn't a great category. I did not like a majority of the looks. I think my favorite look was Nene Coco. Nene has been bringing it on the runway this entire season. And, Juicy has been bringing it this season for the runway as well. But I think Nene has been my favorite. Every single one of her looks, with the exception of her satin look. I freaking loved. I freaking loved. She came out as a candy wrapper on her head and all that good stuff. It was beautiful dress. It was all that. Nene Coco. Shout out to you. So again, the bottom two are Juicy and Vita. Juicy and Vita do their lip sync. You know, Juicy, of course, is doing her acrobatics, and Vita's doing more of the actual lip sync itself. They, you know, kind of get down with the groove and whatnot. It was a decent lip sync for me. But as I've stated in the past, I don't care for the fact that lip syncing has now become an acrobatics type of thing. Like, that's great for certain moments in the song, but it's a lip sync, and we need to see your lips. We need to see your lips moving. And when you're doing all these flips and things of that nature, we really can't focus on your lips the way that we want to. It's not that I don't want queens to do any stunts whatsoever, but I don't want that to be the center of the lip sync. I want the lip sync to be the center of the lip sync. So, anyways, Juicy Love Dion wins the lip sync. Vita goes home. In my opinion, Vita went home a little bit too early. However, once again, when you don't have this, if you're not well-rounded, a well-rounded queen, and that's not to say that Vita's not well-rounded, it's just that she didn't do great in any of the acting challenges, and that's how she ended up on the bottom both times for acting challenges. So, you know, it's just unfortunate because I love Vita, and I think she's a great queen. Once again, the majority of her looks on the runway I have loved. So, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think that Mikey Meeks deserved to win? Do you think that another queen deserved to win? Do you agree with the bottom two? Are you sad that Vita's going home? I am pretty sad that Vita's going home. Let me know down in the comments. Subscribe to my channel. Press the thumbs up button. Be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Be sure to join me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. I go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. with my sister Prophetic Fire Reiki, as well as our friend Bianca Edwards. We always have a great time talking about the latest happenings and goings on in the world. So join us every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for live Hot Topics and Social Commentary. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.